Hey, my name is Stix and welcome back to your weekly Gacha recap, a video series where I go over the latest news, pre-registrations, test phases, new releases, juicy drama, everything that happened to the Gacha genre over the course of the last week in one easy to digest format. Hey, if you weren't already aware, I have a Gacha review channel called Stix Players where I deep dive into Gacha games, new and old. If you weren't already, consider subscribing to that channel, hitting a little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post every Sunday. We got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Heaven Burns Red has officially released. This game has been a Japanese exclusive for years. This has been one of the highest grossing, most popular gacha games in Japan, alongside Uma Musume, and finally, global players get their chance at it. Now, this game isn't going to be for everyone, granted. It is very story-driven, it's very anime, but ultimately, I think it is definitely worth a try. Ascent Protocol has officially ended service. Apparently, according to them, they've decided to end service on November 22nd. This is a week after today. According to sources online, this game hasn't even existed for very long, several months only. Nikke just rolled out Grave, the latest Pilgrim, following Cinderella, who I actually got. I think I core 4'd or core 5'd after doing 1,000 pulls for her. I'll have a VOD up for that at some point next week. She was actually released, I think, about a week ago, a little over a week ago, but they just rolled out the final hard mode of the most recent Cinderella event. So if you have been waiting, now is your chance to get in and not only participate in the entire Cinderella themed event, but also obtain Cinderella and Grave while you can. Cinderella specifically is going to be a very important character. I have not found a team composition really based off of the characters that I've upgraded that fits Grave into, but I no doubt still used my mileage, my tickets to obtain her just in case at one point in the future I do. Infinity Nikki has officially confirmed their release date, set for December 5th. And my wife, Mrs. Stix, is very excited. She had a lot of fun in this game. By no means did she think this game was incredible, but she did have a lot of fun in it. It is one of the, I don't want to say cringy in a bad way, but cringy in a fun, kind of cheesy way, experiences that she has had recently. It is launching across all major platforms on December 5th. Mrs. Stix, I believe, is going to be streaming this December 5th as well. For those of you that are interested in tuning in, this is going to be a very interesting new, potentially big gacha game that a lot of us, I think, are going to overlook, but should definitely try nonetheless. I got to play the first global beta test for Girls Frontline 2. I did a dedicated, oh, that's an interesting, still for the image, but I got to play it. This was a ton of fun, a lot more fun than I expected it to be. I did a video on it that I strongly urge you go over and take a look at, especially if you're interested in potentially playing this game or you've been on the fence as to whether or not you should. The 7 Deadly Sins Origins, which has been, I think, radio silent for like 2 years now, has finally released new gameplay footage as part of the G-Star 2025 showcase. And admittedly, I haven't watched it yet. I do have a dedicated video coming in the next few days with not only this, but also 3 other newly announced gacha games that you should be on the lookout for. I still don't have the highest hopes for this game because I think at the end of the day, this is Netmarble we're talking about, and they ruin every game that they touch. Look at Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. Ash Echoes Global has officially launched as of November 15th. The game is playable on PC, on Android, on iOS, and with regards to PC, it is also available on Steam. I did a dedicated video on this, I think like a month and a half ago, and I was invited to the global test phase. I had fun in it. I urge you to check my video out if you are interested in it, or just go ahead and download the game. It's really not that big. It's a fun tactical game. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Wuthering Waves has officially rolled out patch 1.4, and while I haven't completed all of 1.4 yet because the final parts of the patch were unlocked on the 16th of November, today, as of this video going live, I did play Camellia's Resonator story. Oh my god, and it was really good. For real, it was dark, it was messed up. You should go ahead and either watch the mini review I did on it just yesterday, or play it yourself. You can right now. But suffice it to say, this was actually very well done by them, and I'm pretty impressed. Azur Lane, and I don't typically cover collabs here because I really feel like I don't need to. Tons of gacha games have collabs every other month, but this one specifically, I loved Tool of Ru. I loved Tool of Ru Darkness. This was peak ecchi anime before things got like explicit. This right here, this is a collab that I would gladly return to Azur Lane for. It's running from November 21st through December 5th. God, that is a nice looking image. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade just launched. It is, as you might have expected, an absolute cash grab. Fans of the Jujutsu Kaisen intellectual property, though, have been enjoying it because it's essentially like the anime or the manga adapted into a gacha game with incredibly ridiculous, predatory business models. I mean, the gacha has a pity of 250 that does not carry over. So when a limited banner ends, all your pity is reset. That is horrendous. I have a dedicated video though on it on my Stix Plays channel where I review gacha games. It's part of my worst gacha ever series. You should go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and take a look at the video. The 7 Mortal Sins, not to be confused with the 7 Deadly Sins, X-TASY, is officially closing on December 18th. That is really disappointing. I remember doing a video on this a long while ago. It was pretty degenerate, pretty cultured. I enjoyed it. So sad to see it shutting down. Echoes of Vision has officially launched in China. I did a dedicated video on this just 5 days ago. This is a chibi, I think it was a tactical gacha that actually looked pretty fun. I urge you to go ahead and take a look at that if you're interested. Punishing Girl even announced that they had to replace the English voice actor for Q. By mutual agreement, they have decided to conclude the collaboration with English voice actor Stephanie Novak for the character Q out of respect for the voice actor's personal consideration. This is a shame, but they did confirm that they are going to redub all of her voice lines. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to seem out of place, but at the same time, I think that's disappointing. Not bad for the game, but disappointing that for whatever reason, she had to depart, because I think a lot of the characters in Punishing Graven, the English voice actors for it, actually do a pretty decent job. Artery Gear Fusion has officially ended their service. This journey has intertwined our fates. Endless possibilities still lie ahead. May we meet again, Commander. We probably will in Artery Gear Fusion 2, Artery Gear Unleashed, some kind of Artery Gear spin-off or republishing from another developer. Neverness to Everness is holding an official closed beta test in China on the 28th of November. Again, this is for China. This is not for global players or players outside of China. I'm really excited for this because I want to see what players capture and see the game actually played, not in a professional setting, in a formal setting where the developers themselves are in control of everything. I want to see players get in there, and I want to see them actually showcase the best and worst parts of the game. That is the only way we're going to have any kind of real view or any kind of real gauge of how good or bad this game is going to be. And speaking of Neverness to Everness, the very same developers, Hada, announced that on November 26th, Decoder of Time is releasing for Tower Fantasy. I'm actually doing a Worst Gacha Ever video as part of my Worst Gacha Ever series for my Stix Plays channel featuring Tower Fantasy, and honestly, I have kind of been semi-enjoying the world of 4.0, moving into 4.1, but man, the ball collection that was present all through the 3.x series is still present on the main pads in 4.x. God damn, whoever thought that was a good idea needs to get fired. Additionally, Midnight Phantom is running from November 11th through November 25th, and the only reason I'm talking about this is because I saw the image of this guy and I was like, oh, Asurada, the name of the guy I'm assuming, it looks pretty cool. Okay, I like his outfit, and then I clicked the video and I'm like, dude, they did him so dirty. He looks so bad. He looks like you're, you know, like a Walmart cosplayer trying to cosplay the guy. Oh man, this is one of the reasons I can't like properly enjoy Tower Fantasy, because at the end of the day, the characters just look so bad. And that is everything that happened in the gacha genre over the course of the last week. Now you're up to date. You're welcome. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.